Hi everybody, Ellie here with ABC Bead Supply. I'm here to share with you our newest silicone spacer beads. We are so excited about these. They are spacers but out of the silicone material, which means you now have a spacer option for your beadable projects that you would only typically use silicone on, plus other projects where you just like the look of silicone or want something nice and subtle, which is exactly what these are. They're a nice thin spacer, so they don't take up a ton of space on your beadable rod length, and it really allows you to just add an extra detail to your design rather than taking away a different component and putting this in its place. We have, here's a look at the colors. So about half of them are going to be neutrals, and then half of them are different shades. There is a silver and a copper, metallic finished, two metallic finishes, and then the rest are all going to be your typical solid silicone colors, and they just have a really sweet rope-like end to them. So the edging on them has some really sweet little details and interest. So today we put together some samples for you. We're not giving a tutorial on how to make these because we're spanning so many different types of projects. We will, in our blog post over at abcbeadsupply.com, we'll have photos of each of these projects, and then we will link to other video tutorials that we have on how to assemble if you need help on assembling any of these project types. But today we just wanted to show you how these spacer beads incorporated into other a good variety of projects and how they look. So first we have a flower bouquet pick. These bouquet picks are these long picks that go right into your flower bouquets. They're perfect this time of year with Mother's Day, Easter, spring. A little card holder can go right in the top of them. So these have been super, super popular this season. And so we've added one of those new silicone spacer beads to that in between the beads. Our coffee stirrers, you're only can use silicone beads on these coffee stirrers, and these will fit on as well. So this is the first time really that there's been able to be an actual spacer bead on a coffee stirrer, since silicone is required for this project type. So we've got the latte spacer on this one. Beadable pens, you can mix acrylic and silicone, so you don't have to use silicone on a pen to have a spacer bead, but we wanted to show how it looked on a pen. Super cute. Also, to point out our newest striped 16 millimeter, it's a shimmery stripe 16 millimeter bead. It's a new addition. It's in a bunch of colors, and it's just so fun on pens. I love it with this new Chaos Coordinator Silicone Focal bead, which is another new addition to the site. So we've just picked up the pink and coordinator and brought that into that little silicone bead here. And this is an example of this pen. This silicone focal bead is such a large focal bead that we typically would have only been able to have used this 16 millimeter acrylic and 12 millimeter acrylic underneath it. There wouldn't have been room for anything else. But because this is so nice and thin, you're able to add a pop of color and interest without, again, taking up rod space. It's such a small amount that it really allows you to add, and it adds so much to that project, having that extra little pop of color between those beads. So it really is just a great way to add some extra color and pizzazz and just that decorative edging detail that it gives. This is a plant pick. This is another new silicone focal bead. What You Water Grows is absolutely perfect for plant picks. These picks can go right in the soil. They're also, when you make them with all silicone, you don't have to worry about them getting wet or anything like that. So that's another reason to be using these new silicone spacers. Again, you need to leave quite a bit of space on these picks for it to go into the soil. And so you're kind of limited in how many beads you can use on a plant pick to decorate it, because of how much space you need to leave for the soil, for the pot. So these spacers, they're so nice and thin. It allows you to add another little decorative piece, another little interest to your project without it taking up too much space. Um, this is the exact same. These are the silicone, it's a silicone beverage cup charm. And this is the exact template that we normally follow on our silicone beads, the same combination that we tend to stick to with 12 millimeter lentil, 15 millimeter abacus. But we've just slipped these silicone spacer beads around the abacus beads. They are just a little bit shorter than the abacus bead, and they sandwich the abacus bead really nicely. So we've just slipped those in, and all the beads still fit on. It's just added, again, a little bit of interest without really sacrificing your design. This is my favorite project out of all of the projects shown here today, this Bougie Mama. This launched with our Mother's Day collection, and we have not just these new silicone spacer beads, but we have added these 16 millimeter animal print cubes this week as well. And look at how perfectly they match that background behind Mama. They're absolutely perfect. And then this matte bow is another new addition, this charm, and it pairs, it's just perfect with this. Like, this project is just, all of the components to it have pulled together perfectly. Super cute, but we've added that new, since we're supposed to be talking about these spacers in this video. So back to the spacer, we've got the green apple one on there, which is just a great little pop. And then last but not least, this is a wrist tether, a cell phone wrist tether. These tether components we have on the site. They're available individually. And again, I'll link the tutorial in this blog post to the original tutorial on how to make these. But they just pop right on your wrist, and then your phone can hang right from here. It goes right through the case of your phone, the charging port, so that you can have your phone tethered to your wrist. It's great if you're doing groceries or anything like that and running errands, just to kind of keep your phone attached to you without necessarily having to be in a purse, and you got access to it and don't lose it. So this is one of those phone tethers. It's all silicone. These new marble beads are absolutely gorgeous as well. They've just loaded, along with these spacer beads, actually, there's another one on here. There's, I believe, 10 colors of marble, and they coordinate with all of the flowers really nicely. We have loaded several new solid flowers this week, and having the ability of being able to pair those colors with something that you don't really want your project to be all one color, all monotone, and having something with a little bit more interest so that you don't have all solids with a pretty heavily solid bead is really nice with that marble. Something like this where you already have a lot of colors in it is already, you can go more solid and it's fine. So, same with this, there's a lot going on with this focal bead, but these flowers are a little bit more simple, and so these marble beads really go nicely with that. So there you have 7 different project ideas to show you how these spacer beads look with all of the different projects. You can get a visual on their size and just how easy they are to use. They're an absolute must-have. Here's again the look at all of the colors. We tried to use as many colors as we could in these projects. You can check it all out over at abcbeadsupply.com. And again, we'll have a blog post up with photos of all these projects and clickable supply list links so that you can duplicate them on your own. Have a great day, everyone.